And we're here with Ser. Thank you so much for coming onto our show. We're super happy to have them. But first of all, congratulations on your performance on the series of Vida.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Oh my God, y'all. This is so awesome.
Your character Eddie is like the character.
Thank you. Right.
So
I was like, what? What do I have to do?
And you've got a very important message to send.
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
Please. Well, it's been amazing doing the show, and playing Eddie is like a dream, because Eddie goes through so much that is like so much we could talk about that a lot of people in the LGBTQIA community go through, and it's been ongoing for so long. So many generations can understand what Eddie goes through, so I think that's a beautiful thing. Like, but the tragic thing too, because it's like, oh, we're still going through that after so many generations. But you know, there is that. It's important to show it, like, because in Vida we also have like community members that are like, it represents like the older generation, the vendedoras, the street vendors, like they're all like right there in the bar called La Chinita, actually. And,
What's up, y'all?
Yeah, and it's for that. It's for a reason too, which you'll find out later. So if you tune in, it'll reveal itself why it was called La Chinita, and we'll delve into other real issues and topics that Latinx people deal with, which I think you'll appreciate. But like, there's so much that Eddie is loved by the community, but it took a long time to get there. And I think you know, you'll see it as it unveils, but also because this character is butch lesbian, you know, and she identifies as she. You know, and it's cool to show that there's butch lesbian as main character that is totally tied into this main story.
Let's see a little clip of that. Let us. Of your performance. Oh, babe!
I hate her
Very
already.
powerful.
I hate the red lipstick chick already. What's one of the things that you would want people who identify with Eddie to really feel when they watch you?
Well, I think they'll feel of like a relief, like, oh wow, like there's some things that I feel like when I go through those similar, or maybe like they will relate to in other ways that they don't really talk about, and so in that way they feel like they're not alone. That it's actually when that happens, you know, when you see some experience that is like, that's just like what I go through, or it's like you're inside of my room. How did you know this? Or are you like that's how it felt like for me playing the role.
You're
like,
not alone.
You're not alone, and I was like, damn, this is so real. Like, so it does feel that way. So I think a sense of relief, laughter. You know, also like to laugh at even the situations that are difficult. There's moments in the show that you're allowed to laugh. So it's cool like that. But
and for someone as non-binary, there are so many other kind of categories of people, right, that we have defined. And would you say that your character as Eddie is reaching out like a beacon to people that feel like their story isn't being represented on television, or their...
Yeah, I think so. I think so too. I mean, it's like Eddie is a character you never really see. I think that's the one thing about this why a lot of people are really drawn to it, is that they've never seen a character fully fleshed out like this before.
That's one of
so they're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, this is my advertisement. Cool. No, just kidding. But you know, there's like a lot of people go through a lot of different kinds of things, especially property, seen as equal as others. Like, you don't have the same rights as I do. Like, people actually like, no, we're all equal. And then when it comes down to it, sometimes they're like, but mine. Yeah. You know.
So the equality really comes out.
That's what I was going to ask you. Seeing Eddie as someone who's completely fleshed out, who's human, you know, because it's not a caricature. Because that's the trap that a lot of these writers fall into. They turn someone like yourself into a caricature. Do you foresee more characters like you on TV in the near future? And do you think Eddie's going to open that door?
Yeah, I think definitely like Vida and like the whole role of Eddie, definitely. I think it's also about how to write, even because I feel like as Latinx people, like we've seen a lot of stuff on TV, and I've seen, and sometimes when you're writing or when you're creating, it's like, what story do you share? That's really also important to be in tune with. Sometimes I don't know what to say, but you just maybe don't know, but it's really in there. And getting past all that BS that people throw at, like, projecting their own stuff, you're like, I don't know. But it's in there.
We don't have a word in Spanish language or in the Latin languages that non-binary people want to be referred to as, which is they, right? They, them. In Spanish, we don't have that yet. It's the plural, right, of singular is ellos or ellas, which includes a gender in those words.
Right.
So as Latinx, how has that worked with you?
Well, I think it's like the whole thing of it, like fitting in and coming out of your mouth like Latinx, it's like kind of weird. And I think that people respond like, I don't know about that and this and this and that. So I think it's important because that is part of the process. Like the language that we've been enforced upon, like it's been around for so long, and it's like really gendering. So as you see, it's not really capturing everybody's identity or many people's identity, or even the third gender or non-binary, gender non-conforming, you know, transgender even, you know. So for me, I found elle, which is and like flipping the A and the O to E. Has been very helpful for me, and I feel more in tune with that. And I think it's also about feeling what the word and that vibration, what comes from that word, how that resonates for you, and does it fit you? And really, like it's for me like meditating and like really being in tune with that, because it changes. It changes, and terms change, and it changes. Like,
so you're all figuring it out.
But it's not perfect. It's like, it's a process, ongoing process. Like we're saying, like people of color, you know, used to include Jewish people.
Yeah.
And now it doesn't, like, necessarily, like, you know.
I want you to hold that focus. It's really important. We'll be right back, but we're still gonna kick it a little bit more with Ser.
Ser. Your name, because it means being, right?
Yes.
Or to be,
Yeah,
right? Ser. Is this a name that you chose for yourself?
Yes. So my born name was Karen, and that didn't fit me anymore. I was like, ugh.
You're like, I ain't no Karen.
Yeah, I'm not a Karen, you know. It's like, it's just, it comes through time, you know. It just like really, just one day, you know, resonated. I don't know, it was like a little while back, but I had to make the decision because I knew that once Vida came out, I wanted to be known as Ser. So I had to make that publicly once the new year started. So I decided, okay, this year started out with like everybody in the world, even though I've told all my friends before. So it's been a challenge, you know, but it's also great because it's like when you look at the name, you don't know me, but you look and you read it, you don't know what to address me as. So you have that, wait a minute. Mr.
So we have a little game because I really liked this name, Ser. And you know,
Ser
to
or
be.
no ser.
Yeah, so we have ser or no ser.
Ser or no ser.
So we're gonna give you we're gonna give you a moment or a phrase, and you're gonna say if that's ser, if that's like so you, or no ser, not you.
Yeah.
All right?
Okay.
Start. Go.
Okay. Making the first move.
Not me.
No ser.
Pero quiero ser, voy a ser.
Yes. Okay. Party like it's 1999.
Sí, siempre.
Okay,
So Ser.
my turn. But first, coffee. You need coffee.
Not anymore.
No ser, coffee.
No ser.
You wake up and you're ready to
Push-ups.
You're better than I am.
Ooh, okay, you ready?
Vivi.
Open relationships.
No sé.
No ser. I don't know.
There's no R there. There's no R
there
there.
was no R there.
All right, nice.
All right, Vivi.
How about just do it later?
That's said a lot of times.
Yeah. Said.
Okay, last one. The most powerful one. No regrets.
Ser!
Nice, very nice.
Oh my
I'm all about it.
I love it.
I'm all about it.
Going back to Vida, we were just talking about the other elements of the show that are also very important. And you mentioned
Fat positivity. So Tanya, the creator, was like, you know, we really want to include thick bodies because on the east side, you know, and plus our Latinx, we got all kinds of bodies. So why not reflect it, you know? I was thick. I had gained weight. I was driving for you know, those cars, those services, and like so I gained from east side. Like I had like gained, so I was scared. I was like, I don't know, but it worked out because also she wanted to reflect that. And as you see the show later, you'll see also why. Yeah, it's important. It's not just the thickness, but it's like the attitude that comes with it, or how you carry your body.
And who's allowed
that kind
to
of
use
thing.
that term?
All
Do you
of
know what
us.
I mean? Because like
Fat
I used
positivity?
to be twice the size as I am now.
Yes.
And so part of me is like, yeah, I got the right to use the word fat.
Yeah.
But then I look at Vivi, I'm like, she got the right to use the word fat. Right. I'm like, she got no right. But
How
I'm
does
like,
that make
do
you
we-
feel when we say
Yeah.
I said it just like, because it's like almost like a reclaimed term as well for those.
Yeah.
okay, so talking about terms and
skinny.
being upset when someone uses it.
Yeah.
And we go with they or she or he or fat or whatever. The words exist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you have your right to say that you don't want someone else to say it because it makes you feel a certain way. But we don't know that necessarily. Like, I would never know that if I said the word fat in some situation, I would upset you,
or
right?
the skinny. If
or
I
the
was like,
skinny.
girl, you look so skinny, and
hate that.
actually she hates it so much. It's so it's hurtful to her.
So do you get upset if someone says she?
Yo, girl, what up?
Or her?
I used to. But I think because it's people that I knew that kept doing it over and over and over again. But
You're like, shut up.
like,
you know
I
me.
told you, like, you know, scratch record. I'm a DJ now. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But that's cool. No, now it's been a process as well. I think a lot of LGBTQIA people who go through or non-binary, gender nonconforming, or transgender people, they may, it's like,
New change,
like they also, I've seen a lot of my friends or colleagues, they get upset and so it's just also like, it's like both. It's a two-way street, like, oh, that's triggering, it has nothing to do with me. I really think that's also part of it because of our society. It's like, me, it's always about me.
Exactly.
And so it's like, I've had to be like, dang, it's not about me. And then it went into this whole other, like, I get a lot about me.
I think-
Oh my God. And so it's almost like a real positive thing to look at like, oh dang, it's going that way. But it's really actually like, to me, a great conversation starter.
Yes.
People mess up by like, I just was like, it's okay, we can hold hands. Like,
They are the best. This person right here.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
Did you have fun?
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah.